Well, a good afternoon to you all. It's a pleasure to be part of the Black in Tech Festival and an even bigger pleasure to represent Adobe as a gold sponsor. So to start off, I'm Jordan Barry. I've been a sales professional for the last 6 years or so, working predominantly across the tech space in varying roles. Um, I've been at Adobe for nearly 3 years now, and actually 13 days ago, I embarked on a new chapter as a leader of the business development team across Europe, the Middle East, and Africa for digital media. For those not sure of digital media, think Creative Cloud, like Photoshop, think Document Cloud, the infamous PDF reader. Have to cover that all, and it's a great role. But I also speak to you as the co-chair of the Black Employee Network within Adobe, where I'm responsible for the recruitment, retainment, and advancement of Black individuals in our business and the wider market. Interestingly, if you asked me 16 years ago, no, 10 years ago, my 16-year-old self, what I would be doing in the next 10 years, what I'll be doing at the old age of 26, I would have been adamant on being a beat maker, a music producer, a DJ, as probably propped sensibly in the background, and anything to do with music. I certainly wouldn't have said I'd end up being a corporate suit working for a tech company. To be honest, I legitimately could not have imagined anything worse. Oh boy, was I wrong though. And my outlook was completely wrong. As a teen, I would have refused to accept I would be doing anything but something creative. Sales? Nah, no chance. Technology? That sounds boring. In fact, I actually love what I do now. And I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Well, actually, ask me in the next 10 years and who knows what I've moved on to. But I was naive to think that my love for the arts wouldn't apply to the corporate world. Now, most of us at any age would perceive what I do now as a business leader in sales to be tedious, boring, and somewhat totally uninspiring. Don't get me wrong, you definitely have those days where you are bored, you feel tedious, and it is uninspired. But it turns out most of the time, and the majority of the time, I get to infuse my creative nature into business productivity. And this is what got me where I am today. To be honest with you, through my career, I felt mixing business and pleasure, in my case, creativity, was risky, especially considering shock, horror, surprise, I'm black and a minority when I look around the office. I often felt to myself, do I have to change the way that I speak? Should I tone down my energy? Perhaps I should get into hobbies like golf and develop a crude taste for cheese and wine just to fit in, just to comply. Maybe I should just submit myself to imposter syndrome. Well, my answer to that was, to be honest with you, bun that. Having to sell out just to fit in or to secure a job is something I would wholeheartedly discourage. In fact, I advocate for everyone on this call to be unequivocally unapologetic for who you are and where you come from. The fact is, by refusing to dilute my identity, I found the right company for me, with a culture filled with the best of peers and the craziest of peers. Every day, I work with the most intelligent, sassy, crazy individuals that are responsible for one of the fastest growing businesses, to the extent that Adobe was recently voted one of the best places to work because of the culture we create. Now, I dare say, damn millennials, but yeah, we're doing a pretty good job. So within the role, I was challenged to be different. I was encouraged to be my truest form. And as a result, I achieved things that I never thought I could. For example, imagine being under 30 and also being a black individual within Adobe leadership. I certainly would never have thought that was achievable. And I enjoy it because every day I get to be creative in the most creative of ways. And what I'm trying to get at will start to make sense, right? So my love of music is displayed every day in my work. Every conversation, every talk track, even the rhythm I incorporate into everyday tasks owes itself to the discipline of music. Trust me, right now, you want to hear the soundtrack that's going on in my head as I'm speaking to you guys. It's pumping me up. As a salesperson, death by PowerPoint, yeah, is no longer a thing. And I've got to rejoice that I'm able to express myself by creating engaging and alternative formats in delivering presentations. And guess what? And brace yourself for another shameless plug. I'm empowered by Adobe products, right? Products like Spark, which hint is free, allowed me to create beautiful and flowing presentations with interactive elements like video, natural transitions, and even audio. For my data analysts out there, I was going to do a garage voice, but I'm not going to embarrass myself publicly like that. Spreadsheets, I'm afraid to say, are and will always be boring. I'm sorry, that just can't change. However, how you relay data shouldn't be boring. In fact, I challenge you to refuse to be boring. Like, you know, how most of us would incorporate pie charts and line graphs to kind of zhuzh it up and sass it up. I go to motion graphics or data-driven video animations to relay critical information. To one of the points, as a business leader, deadhouse reports are the pain of my existence. No longer am I willing to accept dull and dulcet, dreary reports that are written in Times New Romans, or for the adventurous out there, Comic Sans. You know, for now, products like InDesign allow me to create infographics that allow others to digest information in more aesthetically pleasing manners. And I enhanced it with graphics and illustration from the like of the Adobe Stock Collection. I am plugging a lot of Adobe products, but credit due where credit due. And finally, for my social media flex, well, let's just put it this way, a heavy use of Photoshop is necessary. Half of the time trying to recover my hairline, got to be honest. So the fact is, no matter where your career takes you, refuse to be boring, challenge mediocrity with creativity. And if you don't think you're creative, you simply haven't discovered your hidden capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, can we just pause for a second, just accept that Tim Westwood has made it, okay? Like, everyone has a creative capability. Sorry, Tim Westwood, if you're listening to this, my apologies. But look, I'm coming to the end of my speech. You don't believe me? If you don't believe me, well, this is where I introduce you to my esteemed colleague, who personally is the only person I know who can actually challenge my exuberance. She's a guru for Adobe XD. For those who don't know, a product that may relay a hysterical emoji when written in written form, but in fact is a powerful tool that enables many to create regardless of your capability. So if you're looking to design an app, XD's got you. If you're looking to create a website, XD's got you. You know what? In fact, if you want to up your portfolio game, well, I've just given it away. Anita, are you ready to drop some knowledge?
I am so ready to drop some knowledge. Absolutely Good. Not on the golf course in the sassiest way possible. And you are still the Adobe king of sass.
Well, Thank you, Jordan. It's good that you're ready, because I've got to be honest with you, I've wafted on about creativity.
No, you have not. No, you have not.
I'm relying on you to back me up here and show them how it's done. So
let's show them how it's done. Let's do this.
Walk us through it.
Not Tim Westwood style, but we will do our best. So, all right, everyone. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. I'm Anita-Mai Goulding. I'm part of the XD strategic development team, leading XD for international. So I work between the XD product team and our amazing customers and global XD community on building this awesome product, which is Adobe XD. And as Jordan will tell you, building your portfolio, building a website, all that amazing stuff, which Jordan just mentioned, you can do it in XD. So this is the design platform where everyone can come together and create the world's best experience at scale. Whether it's your portfolio, a website, a design system, you're like collaborating across your global design team, whether you're a MacBook user, Windows user, iOS, Android, or if you're creating an amazing voice prototype for like your Amazon Alexa, you can use XD. And of course, it's all part of the Adobe CC platform, so integration with Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, all those awesome tools which Jordan just mentioned. Plus, we have all these awesome plugins and integrations with Jira, Slack, Trello, Microsoft Teams, Google Sheets, and so forth. So listen, Me and Jordan have a lot in common. The biggest thing we have in common is we love to talk. So I'm covering a lot today. We really want to make sure if you have any questions or want any follow-up or even want this portfolio, which I'm going to be taking you guys through today with Jordan, you can contact us. So my Twitter handle is @dictaphone_girl. I'm more than happy to share that sob story another time. And of course, Mr. Barry, the infamous legend himself.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great Twitter handle. I after this call, I'm definitely asking you how that was formed. But let's continue. I'm sorry.
How do you not know? Of course, of course. So here you can get started with all of our up-to-date resources. We have Max next week. So many announcements around all our major products, especially XD. So please sign up and join us next week for Adobe Max. It's going to be absolutely unbelievable. I think there's something like 400,000 people signed up, Jordan, which is just unreal.
The rest.
Crazy. I know. So as you can see, I'm covering a lot of features, and with that, let's get cracking. So as Mr. Barry mentioned, just in terms of building out interactive assets in XD, today we're going to be showing you how to create your portfolio. So just before we dive in and get started, XD is basically this powerhouse of a platform. It's all in one across design, prototype, and share. Plus we have all our amazing plugins, which I'll also be taking you guys through. We're covering a lot. So if you want this file post-session or any Q&A with either Jordan or me, please drop us a LAN. So with that, I'm going to take you guys through this portfolio for a name that I quite like the name, Luna Lexington. I made that up. So this is her portfolio. I think it's a cool name. Yeah. And with that, you know, she has this about me page, which we need to sass up a little bit. She has all of her examples. She's worked with Uber, McDonald's, Spotify, Microsoft. She's got some great capabilities here, motion design, 3DI, all the things which, you know, we look at as, like anyone looking to really kind of get that career in design, you have to have this kind of document around your portfolio, showcasing all of your talents, like all the stuff which you've worked on, the impact that it had, and so forth. So down here in XD, there's some other cool examples, such as voice.
Luna's work is incredible, says Scarlett, Chief Design Officer at Microsoft.
You got some other cool things you can do? Is that a bit Darth Vader, Jordan?
that is that's more my style. But just quick question. You mentioned that this is for designers. It's not just relevant to designers, is it? Because say, for example, you're a techie and you want to display your capabilities and skills.
Oh, yeah.
In different ways than just, as I said before, Times New Romans, just on a sheet. I suppose this is a way of bringing your portfolio and your profile to life, right? I mean,
absolutely. And I mean, honestly, we have a massive dev community using XD to, you know, create assets, even folks in content branding, as well as like marketing as well. Anyone who wants to create that like interactive asset, portfolio, mobile app, whatever they fancy, they can use XD. So yeah, absolutely. It's not just exclusive to designers. Anyone who wants to bring it to life and not use Times New Roman, they can go ahead and use it. So really powerful. So I have made this up, just a disclaimer. So this is Luna's work for Macca's, for McDonald's. As you can see, I've got some Laura Ipson in there. I'm going to show you guys how to put these assets around different types of ideation, personas, wireframes, super easy and quickly in XD. We've got some components, as you can see here, some interactive hovers, plus components with different states that, again, I'll be showcasing in a bit around micro animation. And with that, we can check out her Spotify designs, what she did here. So as you can see, again, in XD, super powerful to create all of this interactivity. We can see Nick's premium account, what's private, and so forth. And yeah, I'm guessing these are some of your favorite tunes, Jordan, as well. But look at that, stuff really easy to bring that to life, hey?
Yeah, I mean, it's my kind of music and it's my kind of layout. I mean, it's for me, it's easy to make. I might actually update my portfolio.
Best of blues.
Yeah,
I can see you loving those blues, DJing away.
Oh, I see myself more of a death metal specialist, actually.
Oh, gosh, even better.
Yeah.
And then I guess finally with that also so if we click on this here, redesigning Spotify, we've got some interactive stats. Always love doing that. Super easy in XD to put these together. We've got this wonderful scroll again, all these kind of different types of micro animations that can really delight and of course even excite people that you're working with. So none of that kind of boring pen and paper or, kind of basic, portfolio or interactive asset. You can really, really bring it to life super easy in XD. And here is Luna's contact page. All right, so sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
I was about to say the last point, that report, you just made me re-envision how my annual report to my sales teams are going to be sent out now. I'm not going to put them with Excel anymore. No,
I can't wait to see.
And neither can I, actually.
Nothing beats Excel. I spent my previous life in Excel, but yeah, this is definitely a bit more eye-catching than Excel. All right, so as you can see, I'm now in design mode. And what I'm going to do is just sass up some of these assets. So the first thing I'm going to do is change this and put a picture in of Miss Lexington herself. So one really cool thing that I mentioned at the start is around how XD works with all of our other amazing tools, such as Photoshop, InDesign, After Effects, and so forth. Stock, of course, as well, as Jordan mentioned. So here is my CC library. And as you can see, I've got loads of CC libraries. This is my CC library for today, Portfolio SAS, because it's Jordan's favorite word. And with that, I'm going to take Miss Lexington's picture and drop it in. And just like that, it's updated. Really nice and easy, super quick to do. And I can share these assets across all the wider CC tools. The other thing I really want to show you guys here, I'm like in the About Me, is putting in a button to her CV. So this is how we create all these interactive elements in XD, as you saw before, with hover states, as I showed you guys, there's different animations. So what I'm going to do here is just create a download CV button. So on the left-hand side, I've selected this rectangle, and here on the right-hand side is my detailed design view. So with that, I'm going to round up these buttons. For some reason, I always choose 32. Why not? And I'm going to go ahead straight away, click here, make the border this wonderful sassy pink, kind of bulk up that border a bit, take out, and take out the fill. So as you can see, nothing super complex, really easy to put together. And that's just the start for creating my button. So I'm now going to add some text, which is download CV. So just here. And straight away, I'm like, nah, I'm not vibing this font. And I can't use Times New Roman because Jordan will leave this meeting.
I will leave. I will leave, and I will write a bad review, a written letter.
Oh my God, don't do that. And you know my Twitter. So as you can see, really easy to align. XD has all these wonderful guides. If you want more guides to keep things absolutely perfect for your sales report, for your portfolio, for your website, you can just go to view, show different types of grids, so like a layout grid, just like that. Or you can drag guides from the side or from above to really give that alignment. So if you're like Jordan, you're really particular, you need that.
Yeah. So Anita, I'm gonna play the audience. It's this simple. Wow, that is great. Like, I never knew creativity could be that easy. So how do people get access to XD, first of all? Is it something that you download?
You can download. You can just type in XD into Google or just go to xd.com and you can download it straight away. And yeah, you can share up to like one free prototype in the free version. And like, if you like it, let us know, tweet me. Always keen to hear feedback. But I can't stress enough, like, it really is for everyone. Like, you don't need a degree or a master's in graphic design to use it. Yeah, super accessible.
On behalf of the audience, awesome. On with the show.
So with that, I'm going to group these two together and now show you some really kind of quick ways you can keep that alignment and keep everything intact. So the first one is padding. So by turning on padding in this detailed design view on the right-hand side, if I need to stretch things out, you can see everything all pink highlighted is aligned. Just like that, it also takes the text with it. If I want to snap the padding to have everything absolutely pixel perfect and in line, I can just click on this one. And as you can see, the border's closed in. The other cool thing, which we brought out in June release, so every month we are bringing out brand new features in XD. I can't stress enough to tune into Max next week to see what we have coming out, is you can turn on stacks. So if I turn on stacks this way for my vertical scroll, download CV, straight away I can start typing. This is amazing. Please look at it. Just like that. How easy is that, Jordan? You have all that text alignment. Nothing too wild, nothing complicated, just nice and easy stuff.
Yeah.
And it works the other way as well. So if I turn on the stack down here, oops, just like that, you can have it going that kind of drop view as well.
Drop it like it's hot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot, hot. And as you can see, just like that, it keeps everything in check. Really nice. Because, you know, we all want everything to look good and look sassy, but just in the easiest way. So with that, now that I've got everything, you know, kind of aligned, ready to go, I'm going to make this a component. So here I've made my main component, and you can, let me group that again. I think I reversed that one too many times. So with that, I'm going to make my component, ta-da, and I've got my default state. So with components, again, really interesting. You always have your main component in XD, which, as you can see here, has that top filled in green diamond. Do you see that, Jordan? Top filled in green.
Bright like a diamond. Sorry, that was bad. I apologize on behalf of myself and Rihanna, guys.
And then underneath, so the kind of instance of that state or the child of that state has that filled in white diamond. So any changes I make to the main state here, so let's say I change this to, you can't really see that. If I change this to pink as well, it updates the child or the instance, just like that. But in this case, what I want to do is change my download CV here to black, maybe not black. I'm going to change it to hot pink. And as you can see, it doesn't update the main state. But if I do want to update the main state or kind of reset it back to the main state, I can click reset to main state. If I want to ungroup this component, I can just click ungroup. But in this case, I'm going to reset to main state. So why is this powerful? This is powerful because this can be used across multiple XD files. So as you can see here, like if I want to kind of open up a new file, bring in the same button, I can just paste it in, or I can link the assets and bring everything in, which is really, really powerful. So here I've got my default state. What I'm going to do now is create a hover state, just like that. So with the hover state, I am going to change this to pink so that when we hover over, we can see what it looks like. The other thing I'm going to do as well in this, okay, maybe in the interest of time, I'm going to wrap that. But as you can see, the default is white. Sorry, Jordan, go ahead.
Time is of the essence, 20 minutes ago. If it was 21, I would have jumped out and sung and danced 21 minutes ago. But 21 minutes ago. Anyway, carry on.
Oh my God, what a tune. So just here, if I scroll down straight away, you can see the default state, which is white, and the hover state. So someone knows when they hover on it, there's an action to click on it and download that CV. Really, really nice and easy. All right, moving on. So on this portfolio side, you've got the Uber, McDonald's. Now let's look at my capabilities. So down here, as we can see, Luna has a pretty extensive skill set from web design to 3DI. What a powerhouse. What I'm going to show you guys now are some plugins. So here, the plugins are just here at the bottom. It's this little Lego piece. To get started with plugins, you can click the plus button and you can, view all the latest plugins. You can browse them down here, see collections. So if you wanted to find a plugin on accessibility, for example, The Start plugin comes up, which is the main one for accessible and inclusive design. One really cool thing about XD is all of the plugins update inside of the XD platform, just like that. So straight away. And like we have plugins from being able to play your XD prototypes on an Alexa through to, you know, icons, wireframes, anything you need. So for this plugin that I recommend today is the icons for design. I'm going to type in website here because I am so lazy. I don't want to make this on my own. And straight away, I've clicked it in.
Please,
and I'm going to
Anita, never say lazy. You just work smart. Okay, it's called smart working.
Oh, exactly.
Don't let the team down here.
But that's why it's so easy, you know, like everything is in the platform. So like you can just bring it into your designs and so forth. And just like that, I can start building up my web design icon. If I wanted to do one, I mean, there must be one for mobile. Come on, let's see. There must be icons for design,
So
mobile.
This is great for presentation. So when I'm presenting to my team or to anyone, you can use this to present because of the animations, the capabilities in-house. In fact, I say that as a leading question. I do use XD actually for presentations.
We have so many of our amazing customers using it for presentations, and not to name drop some, you know, some other tools which you can use for presentations, but very few can you have voice and, you know, all of that micro animations as well. So icons for design, really good for presentations as well. So here, this is one of my favorites. For me, I always like to have real pictures. So this plugin here, eye faces, you can click on the faces which you want to change and then go to UI faces here, choose the source you want to get it from, just like that. You can filter. Let's have loads of happy females with black hair. You can select the photos or you can just apply randomly. So in this case, we can have a preview. So let's take, oh, this beauty. Let's take her here. Some California, perfect. All these gorgeous ladies, and straight away pops in. Again, super easy. Yeah, easy. And then kind of carrying on here, one thing, if you know, want to use CC libraries to like bring in an image, as we saw with our pal Luna. Another way you can bring images in is just by importing them. So what I'm going to do here is show you a really powerful feature. And I'm sure, Jordan, this is one you have used in the past. This is like quite a flagship feature for XD. It's been around for a while, and that is the repeat grid. So as you can see, I've drawn my circle. I'm now going to click on repeat grid and have 3, just like that. Really nice and easy. I can control the spacing. I can have loads. I can go to town. And what I'm going to do here is open up my Finder, bring in my portfolio images, and choose, of course, these Adobe stock images. What else are we going to use? Hey, Jordan.
Yeah. You better say that. Right. Okay. Adobe stock is the best platform for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Shameless plug, part 2. Yeah.
And just like that, I can realign her burger. And if I want to do some more customizations with this image, I can right-click in XD and I can edit in Photoshop straight away. And any changes I make in Photoshop get pushed back to XD. Also in the detailed design view, we've got blend modes as well. So we can do some things, or maybe not color dodge, but you guys get the picture. We can use blend modes here as well.
So you have a lot of creative capabilities from other platforms.
Oh, like, yeah, definitely.
In app. That's great because, you know, I'm sure not everyone on the call has access to Photoshop. If you do, you know where to go to say. But yeah, no, this is great. And that photo, the first photo is comment. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So speaking of plugins, go ahead, Jordan.
I would say on with the show. I think we've got 15 minutes left.
I think we've got 9. So I think so just some other plugins which are really powerful. So as I've mentioned around ideation, the personas, understanding our target audience in Wireframe. This plugin, whiteboard plugin, came out in response to, you know, everyone working from home virtually. If you click on the whiteboard plugin, straight away you can get started with affinity diagrams, card sorting, customer journey maps, all this great stuff. And so if I was to choose here, let's scroll down, something you can do, maybe a stakeholder map, something really wild like that. It comes up straight away. But what's really special about this is you can add, your own elements like emojis, post-it notes, or you can just simply draw, which is really great for creatives. So you can start drawing on this by, kind of crossing stuff out, or you can draw an avocado.
That's not an avocado. Sorry, that is
it's terrible. Just like that, and like all your drawings stay on the canvas. So really easy to come in and collaborate. Speaking of collaborate, if you have someone who can draw, really, really powerful collaboration capabilities in XD. If you go up here to the top, you can start co-editing, and you can invite your crew to work on the document with you at the same time. So I can invite Jordan, give him a message, invite him, turn on co-editing, and we can have all of our team working in the same XD file at the same time. Some other cool things you can do around collaboration is, as you can see here, I've got my little cloud document, is you can access all your previous versions. So if I was to call this one, Jordan's work, for example, he can then open that up in a brand new XD file, bring it into the main file, go to town. So I can't recommend enough the collaboration capabilities in XD. So another really powerful plugin down here is personas, especially for, designers, specifically a shout out, or developers, anyone in the product team who needs to show what people are thinking, what they're vibing. This plugin here, you can choose a template, and straight away you can choose as many as you want, up to 12, and it pulls in all these different personas. And if you wanted to change that person, for example, you can use your kind of faces plugin, as we saw before, or use another great plugin called This Person Does Not Exist, and it brings in an AI generated person that apparently does not exist. So just really, really powerful plugins, again, that you can use to bring your ideas and designs to life. Another great one, finally, to kind of wrap on the plugins piece, is the Wireframe plugin. So this is particularly fantastic to get started in with XD and your designs. You can choose all these different folders like sign up, onboarding, social media, contact, location and maps, and so forth. So let's say I wanted to do activity feed here. You just click plus, and straight away it brings everything in. So you can get really kind of up to speed with working on the colors, such as here, bringing in from your assets panel and all of that, bringing in all the great images, let's say from your CC library, like Jordan's favorite image. Yeah. Really powerful.
It's done for you.
Exactly, it's done for you.
Like this is smart working. I'm not going to say avoiding doing any hard work, because maybe we work more effectively. But exactly. Okay, so how do we share this? I suppose others would be interesting. I suppose my question would be around, if you are using this for the reasons of designing websites and apps, how does it go to a website? How what's the different form?
That is something which we will be showing in literally the next probably 3 minutes. But just before we get to that, I just want to make sure, in terms of all the components, everything we've seen. So again, with components like this one down here, we have all our different states. And to kind of have those different states, you just have to go into prototype mode and kind of configure them with, tap, drag, time, or even using voice as well to really bring your components to life. As you can see with this one, it's got the tap, trigger, and transition. Speaking of prototype mode, I'm just going to show you a couple of really cool features just before we move on to sharing, because that's something which we really need to show as well. So as you saw earlier, the kind of main triggers we have in XD are tap, drag, keys and gamepad, voice, and time. Time's just at the top there. In terms of types of actions, you can have auto animate, which is what I've been showing heavily, overlay, previous artboard, audio playback, speech playback. You can have your voice. You can also bring in your own voice files into XD and literally just type it in. So just like that. Every time I click tap on here, she comes in. If I wanted to change her speech, Jordan Barry is a legend, just like that. Straight away, it makes that change. So when I go down, press play, just here.
Jordan Barry is a legend.
It changes.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Thanks.
So yeah, super easy.
So can we get that voice in Idris Elba? So can Idris Elba tell me that I'm a legend? According to
you can bring in your own voice file. So just like here with this one, we've got some audio playback. So we have the warm wobble. We can add a new file straight away. You can bring in your own audio files and test them. So if you want to have Idris Elba, you can definitely do that. And just like that with a click. But just before we move on to share, the biggest one I want to show you is all of this animation. So you guys can play around with the file. As I mentioned earlier, this is just components, all the same. I've got the hover state, which has that heart in it, the heart filled in. It's all components. You guys can play around with that. The kind of counter I've done here that I was showing you guys before, as you can see on this first artboard, I've got the 2, 3, and on the 9, I've got 9 all the way down to 8. And then I've just realigned it with a mask to kind of bring that scroll to life. And to sync that up and make sure it looks really sassy, I just use tap and auto animate, ease in and out. So just like that, there you go. You have those animations. Super, super powerful. And that's the auto animate trigger. Finally, share. Let's wrap up with share. In share, you can have as many links as you want in your XD file. So here I've got Luna's portfolio. You can have it for design review, development, presentation, user testing, or custom. You can give access to people who are invited or have anyone. You can ensure all the assets are downloadable. Here's something I prepared earlier. Here is Luna's profile. And just kind of scrolling down, you can see it's got all the same kind of animation and audio. Ooh, there we go.
Luna's work is incredible, says Scarlett.
You can have people in your team making comments, but this literally, like as Jordan says, looks like a mini website. So like you can share this with your employers, your team, anyone you want. You can make comments or they can make comments. Like this is great. And even more powerfully as well, if you want to build, you have that dev spec. So that code spec just here. Developers can get in straight away with copy and pasting the CSS code. They can download the images. They can look at all the interactions. So yeah, as Jordan mentioned, this is not exclusively at all for designers. Anyone who wants to create an interactive asset can use XD. And with that, like I said, we've covered a lot. I know we're coming up to the end. If you have any questions or want any kind of follow-up with us or would like this file, Goulding@adobe.com, Barry@adobe.com, even easier. Tweet us or tweet me at Dictaphone Girl. I'll DM you to Jordan. But Jordan, any closing words from you as we wrap up?
Thank you for backing me up. As I said, anyone could be creative, and I challenge everyone to bring a new aspect to whatever they do in their career. And that's it, because we are low on time. Reach out to us, book appointments. Thank you, guys.
Definitely. And thank you all so much. And best of luck with everything and have a fabulous rest of your day today.